So, this is useless. Pakistan's passport being ranked among the worst in the world is a valid reason to want to hide it at airports. A passport should unlock doors, not slam them in your face. In this video, we will explain how things got so bad, how this impacts every Pakistani, and the ways out of this mess. Zara sochiye. You wake up one morning and you're craving authentic pizza from Italy. You book the ticket online. At the airport, nobody questions your travel history or worth in life. And before you know it, you're sitting in a noisy restaurant in Naples, eating the best pizza you've ever had. Not much planning or thought required. Kya khwab hai? Unlike citizens of many other countries around the world, our passport means this will stay a khwab. What about the visa process? Will I be interrogated? What if they turn me away? All logical fears, mind you. So, what brought us here? Samjo explains. The two main passport ranking systems, the Henley Passport Index and the Passport Index, base their ranking on the mobility and access that a passport provides. Basically, how many countries allow visa-free access, visa on arrival, and e-visas for travelers with that passport, without the mental, emotional, and physical khwari required for a traditional visa. The Henley Passport Index ranks Pakistan at the 104th spot out of 107, and the Passport Index gives Pakistan the 92nd rank out of 95? I guess that's an A star? Such a low passport ranking means one thing. People don't want us to come to their country, at least not without a heavy vetting process. Ask, and Pakistani travelers will tell you their dukhi kahaniya. Weeks of gathering the right documents, raising funds, logistical planning, booking hotels and return tickets, with wait times at embassies so long that they rid you of opportunities, like studying abroad, and make international news. And even after you've done everything right, you might still get a big red rejection. Case in point, the US State Department lists the 2022 refusal rates for tourist visas at 31.43% for Pakistan, as opposed to our bigger neighbor India's 6.54% refusal rate. Yeah, not great. So, other than being depressing, why does this matter? Well, passport rank is about more than just convenience for travelers. Passport rank is about passport power, which is linked to the soft power of a country, its perceived social and economic influence in the world, as well as offering significant financial freedom. As we all know, paisa bolta hai. Take the UAE, for example. In the last 10 years, they climbed 49 places in the Henley Passport Index to 15th in 2022, and actually claimed the number one rank in the other passport index last year. This is a dramatic change in passport power that has boosted local business, prompted a lot of foreigners to come live in the UAE, and branded Dubai as a luxury travel destination, as well as causing a massive property boom. Their passport becoming stronger has actually led people from other countries to want to visit their country. With this comes huge possibilities, not just for economic exchange, but also cultural and technical. Emiratis are thrilled. Not only can they travel freely, their society is benefiting from a more global outlook, and they have foreign investment rolling in. Bloomberg reported that the UAE's economy expanded almost 8% in 2022. Compare that with Pakistan's current economic crisis, which already has a wiki page. We're living in historic times, guys. Pakistan's low passport ranking has caused many Pakistanis to think about the injustice of passport privilege, a modern term for inequality between passports. A good passport could be the difference between being treated like an alien or a human being. It's such a privilege that many Pakistanis are risking their time, money, mental peace, and lives to attain any other one, because anyone can see that things aren't looking great. In 2006, we had the 76th spot on the Henley Passport Index, and it's pretty much been downhill since. It wasn't always like this. Talk to someone born in the 50s, and they'll tell you fantastical stories of traveling to and from Pakistan through Europe by road. Up until 1983, the UK and most of Europe allowed visa on arrival for Pakistani passport holders. Sounds fake? But it's true. A lot of things have happened since then that have changed Pakistan's standing in the world. So what can we do to get back there? There aren't enough reciprocal visa agreements with countries we have steady relationships with. This means deals where we offer them visa-free access in turn for visa-free access. Sure, that may sound like a pipe dream for countries like the USA or the entire EU, but what about our allies in Africa, Asia, and South America? Quantity matters in passport ranking. They don't prefer one continent over another, and movement of people between these countries is good for people and business. Some people have accused MOFA of not really doing much about the situation because of their own greater mobility. Diplomatic and official passport holders have access to far more countries than normal passport holders. But for us to sell two-way access, people need to want to come to Pakistan. In fact, the opposite is happening. Low quality of life is pushing people to look for shortcuts to escape the country, with illegal immigration from Pakistan causing a lot of concern internationally, and in turn raising the immigration risk level for Pakistan. Immigration risk is the assigned risk level of a country, tied to how often people from those countries overstay their visas or use fraudulent means or loopholes to remain in foreign countries. We all know of the creative dua numbers that happens. Let's not kid ourselves. Pakistan has a high immigration risk because people want to leave. Because our passport has no power. So people want to leave. But it's too difficult to get visas approved because our passport has no power. Because people are extremely desperate to leave. And on the vicious cycle goes. Ugh, make it stop. Things are so bad that in Australia they have reformed their immigration risk assessment framework to deal with the many fake students that come particularly from South Asian countries. Literally a foreign concept, immigration integrity is a big deal in Western countries, and irregular migration is against most national interests. Canada and the UK have also tried to curb the number of international students coming for ulterior motives. Another unfortunate fact is that other kinds of illegal activity are also rapidly becoming associated with Pakistani migrants. Local news channels reported recently that Turkey tightened its visa policy and stopped issuing temporary residence permits for Pakistanis after 4 Nepali nationals were kidnapped and tortured in Istanbul by a Pakistani gang. People aren't going to want you to come to the One Dish party if your nihari has razors in it. But while we're on the topic of being invited, some things are beyond our control. You have to admit that some of the way we are treated as lowly passport holders has a lot to do with prejudice. Prejudice towards Asians, South Asians, and Muslim South Asians even more so. So much worse after 9/11, there has been a studied increase in global prejudice towards Muslims. Pakistan in particular also has the bad luck of being associated with Osama bin Laden. Not exactly cool. Just like a strong passport can reshape the impression people have of your country, their pre-existing impressions can influence the strength of your passport. This widespread prejudice leads to discriminatory treatment by certain Western embassies, many of which have outsourced visa processing to external visa centers such as Jerry's and VFS Global, so they don't have to deal with us directly. Okay, so we know things are bad, but how can they possibly get better? What can we do? Obviously, our state needs to do more for its citizens. Even if we manage to elect a stable government after elections, they would not only have to make more bilateral ties and big moves for their ordinary citizens, but also work on raising domestic income and quality of life. If you're living well enough in your own country, it's less likely that you'll become an immigration risk. Of course, for that, a government would also need to complete their term, but that's a topic for another video. One thing a new government could consider doing is taking stricter measures against people who are deported. An FIA document from 2005 implies that there are no formal punishments for deportees with invalid documents. It's more a matter of izzat. But in 2018, Parliament passed the Prevention of Migrants Act, which criminalizes smuggling of migrants and the production of fake documents, among other offences, essentially punishing the smugglers, but not the people that chose to take that route. While making the stakes higher might deter some people, they might also disproportionately affect the poor, those without networks and contacts to protect them. We know that story too. Another thing we touched upon that can increase passport power is promoting tourism. This one is obvious, and locals have been pushing for more attention here for years. Tourism would give us a softer global image, as well as giving a reason for other countries to make visa deals with us. It also brings in more money, and we know for certain that we need more money. A general rebrand, like Malaysia's highly successful Truly Asia campaign, might be something to aspire to. Pakistanis have been stressed about our passports for a while, and things aren't looking like they're changing much. A Gallup Pakistan Pulse report from early 2023 pointed to a majority expressing distrust towards the PDM government, and the change to an unelected caretaker government hasn't been helping build trust. But we need trust, so that our huge systemic failures, like those in our economy, in education, in social welfare, all the things that help build a country up from the ground, can be properly addressed by the people who are meant to see to that. People need hope. It can be heartbreaking to own a passport that draws in so much international scrutiny, one that makes you feel less than other people. But citizens are not powerless. Demand direct action and keep up the pressure. An active and informed civic society can do wonders for a country. And stay informed with Samjho. Let us know of any of your passport horror stories in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe to our page for more.